All right, guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're here, you are watching us at Joe and Zar. So I am so excited that you guys are here. Joe is going to start doing these introductions now because, this is his channel as well, since I be talking too much. But, I want to do some housekeeping things. Is that okay? First things first, if you're new to us, I'm Zar from Zar Galore. You can check out my channel. I do wig reviews and all types of things like that. And you going to introduce yourself?
I'm Joe.
Come on, don't, Joe, I ain't in the mood this week.
What?
And I'm going to tell you why.
What?
Because y'all was in my goddamn comments talking about why don't you let him talk? All this shit like that. It's not funny. It's not funny to me. And I'm going to tell you why.
Wait,
and then,
I didn't do anything.
No, I'm going to tell you why. What we not going to do, I'm coming here. I'm going to just tell y'all straight up, you know what I mean? Y'all under the impression that, this YouTube life is, you know what I mean? Don't get me jacked up. You know what I mean? Because, I throw the wig on and all that stuff like that. I really am that. I got the spirit of beat a bitch ass in me. You know what I mean? And it's deep. And he know. And he already know who I am. So my thing is, don't ever come. That was the Lord. That was the Lord. So, thankfully, my Lord and Savior Beyonce dropped the, whole situation. So I couldn't finish cursing y'all the hell out. So all I'm going to say is welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. We're so glad you guys are here.
Yes.
Joe, don't you want to introduce yourself and tell the people?
I'm Joe. I'm Joe Conner. I'm here.
Y'all. I'm going to air him out so bad.
I don't know. Why would I get
Stop
aired
playing.
out?
Now, he was just kikiing and laughing and cockadoodle-doodling with the mother jumpers on the damn... No. You was on the thing with the people, all kiki, kaka, all that stuff like that.
I don't even know what she's talking about right now.
No, stop playing. So we are back, and we are talking all things Married at First Sight. Since he don't want to introduce himself because he ain't got no
I just did. I just introduced myself.
We don't care. Because you don't want to do that.
We know who we
then
are.
Let's move on, or whatever the case may be. Because I ain't ate, and I'm getting hangry. And he right here with it. He right here with it.
What
and
did
I'm not
I do?
ready.
I'm
right here.
I haven't eaten either. Just so we let it be known.
All I'm gonna say is, y'all, we're talking all things Married at First Sight, season 12, episode 3, and it's getting.
It's getting spicy.
We prematurely called it boring, I think.
No, I don't think we called it boring. We called the couples boring, which they still are.
Okay.
We didn't really. Nothing was inaccurate or premature.
Okay.
The couples are boring. They're terrible matches, but that leads to drama. And so what we saw in this episode was drama, and what we will see in the next couple of episodes are drama, because when you put terrible couples together, you get a lot of drama.
Okay, so they open up this episode with Paige and Chris. Okay, Paige and Chris are finally getting down the aisle, and we get to finally see what Chris thinks about Paige. And she didn't think much, which I knew. But you know what though? What I like though is that she also didn't think. She was attracted to him, but she didn't think much of him. So
no, the issue with Paige was she thought a lot of him before she even met him. And she thought even more of him when she saw him, because she was just purely attracted to him. The only reason why she took pause with Chris is because he was pretty much a dick to her from the jump, because he wasn't attracted to her. But before she had met Chris, you asked her, they were soulmates. They had met in another lifetime. Man. Everything was ordained by God. Everything was destiny, and they was going to have 1,000 kids and live happily ever after. But that wasn't the case, because she met Chris, and Chris wasn't feeling her. So Chris kind of gave her his ass to kiss. And all of a sudden, she had red flags. It wasn't red flags. It was a red horn that was honking to you. Then he was like, he wasn't feeling her.
But let's go back. He wasn't feeling her. So when they first walked down the aisle, he sees Paige, and he says out his mouth,
he was hurt.
Oh, shit. Right?
Because he was hurt.
This is my thing. I feel like I am not surprised. I feel like I
was surprised because I called this, and I told her that Chris will not be attracted to Paige.
And I feel bad though, because the more we get to spend time with Paige and see her interact with her friends and just see other people, I like Paige. And I thought her vows were really, really good. And I'm not like a super religious person, but I thought that it for me being somebody who's about to, really get him out of here with this vow situation. I thought that it was I thought she did such a really good job, and I hate to call her articulate, but
why do you hate to call her articulate?
Because sometimes calling black people articulate is kind of like what's that supposed to mean? Like, we're not supposed to speak the King's English or Queen's English, you know what I mean? But
everybody is not articulate. Black,
but
white,
that's
or
also
purple.
true. And that's also very, very true. But I think what I'm getting at is that I like how she articulated her thoughts and her wants and her desires and her prayers for their relationship. But he talked in his, who talks in their vows about getting somebody pregnant? Where did they get this guy from? I'm nervous. I feel like, no, don't think too hard, baby.
I'm not.
Don't do that. You're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself.
I'm not hurting myself. I was just trying to remember what he said.
He said that
he just dropped the line about the honeymoon baby, which was
but
that was his joke, funny part. Like, everybody tries to throw in some comical relief there, and that was his relief.
First of all,
it wasn't good, but that's his relief. I think we getting caught up in editing. People are edited to have storylines. Chris's storyline from the jump is supposed to be over-sexualized.
Okay.
We get it, right?
Okay.
And so now, every time we see him, it's very much so in the vein of he's over-sexualized. He only think about sex. He only think about the physical, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
And so I think that's what we're getting caught up in. Because in his vows, everybody, if you've been to a couple weddings, everybody has a little comical line.
Right,
his line was the honeymoon baby.
Right.
If you didn't know Chris and you hadn't seen all of this previous over-sexualized content, you would think that was a funny line.
But no, I'm gonna tell you why it's not a funny line. Because they don't know each other. See, it's a funny line.
It wasn't a funny line because you've been watching Chris already for 2 episodes and you think that he's over-sexualized.
I never would have thought it was funny.
I don't believe
I never would have thought it was funny. Because I think that's, first of all, the presumption is that, I don't even know you.
Because it could have been.
Also gotta be.
But that's what makes stuff funny.
I don't even know you.
That's what makes stuff funny. Like the irony of it.
That's what
irony of I don't know you and I'm talking about honeymoon baby.
No, that's not ironic. There's no irony in not knowing her.
It is very evident to me that you're speaking from previous
No, don't be. It's
not
evident. First of all, I like Chris, and I said that. So this.
But you're talking from previous. You're not talking from a blank.
No,
slate.
I'm telling you I'm saying the only way that's funny, and you guys bust down and tell me if I'm right or wrong, and tell us what you think. The only way I think that's funny is that.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was good.
I
didn't say it was a good joke. I didn't say that was his attempt.
That's the problem. What was we watching the other night? And the lady said that he made a joke about the LGBTQ, and she said the problem is that the joke wasn't funny. See, it could have landed if it was funny, but since it wasn't funny, it does not translate. That's what makes it inappropriate.
I'm not disagreeing. I didn't say it was funny.
I just thought
that was his attempt.
You don't know her family. First of all, you come from a church-going family. She comes from a deeply church-going family. Y'all don't even know each other. You thought at the altar when you meet a human being, the thing for you to talk about is a honeymoon baby?
But
then the presumption,
I still think we're talking about...
But then the presumption is that my daughter, who I don't know you, I never got to know you as a young man, I'm giving my daughter away, is going to be busting it down, spreading it wide to somebody she don't know.
Way too far
That's the
here.
presumption. It's not a kiki.
It's
not a kiki.
It's too far. We going too far. We going way. Yeah, you going way too far. It was supposed to be it was a bad joke. Let's call it a bad joke.
Bring it back, babe. Bring it back. I'm just saying, but the point of the matter is, I thought that, she did a really wonderful job.
Yeah, it was cool.
And what's very clear to me is that I really want Paige to get this wig together. It's
terrible. It's a bad situation. And that's why he felt the way he did, because he saw her and he listen, I'm put together. I got myself together. Y'all brought me a woman who can't even get her head together.
Okay, stop. But she is put together. It's just that...
How?
Because her life is put together.
No. We talking about physically. He doesn't know her life. Okay. He's seeing her from the top of the aisle.
Touche.
So once we talk about first impressions so much, but people have such an opposition to first physical oppressions.
And why is that?
It doesn't make sense to me.
It don't make sense. Right.
If first impressions matter,
right.
Why can we criticize people for making a judgment and an impression on somebody when they first lay eyes on them, which is what you naturally do when you meet somebody. Anybody.
That's very
So when
true.
he saw her at the top of the aisle, he thought,
she's a mess. She is a mess. No, it wasn't even when he saw her. When he saw them friends.
When he saw her friends, he knew.
Thought.
But you can't judge everybody by their friends, because I told her, like, if I was judge you by your friends, you know what I mean?
First of all, y'all don't listen.
But not the good. I'm talking about the good friends. Y'all know who y'all is.
I'm gonna slap you right in the mouth.
The other ones, I don't know.
He about to get a beating. Okay, he is really about to get a beating. I got the belt on the other side of the whole thing, and he's about to get a beating. But so let's talk about them actually starting to talk, and they had the conversation about their tattoos. And she said... No,
they didn't have a conversation about tattoos. He brought up tattoos so he could segue into his ex.
Yes, he did.
And that's all that was.
Yes, he did. How did you just walk down the aisle with a stranger, a human being you do not know, and the first thing you want to talk about is your engagement or disengagement to the ex just 3 months earlier?
But that's how you know how disinterested he was, because a dude who is really into you at the moment that he met you will forget all these other names. His ex name, his mama name, all these other names. And he had all of his memories came flooding back to him, because that's how not into her he was. And I think that at that moment, that's when he started just, I'm going to divulge all this information about my ex. I'm going to talk about her dog. I'm going to talk about all this. Are you a virgin? Asking all these crazy questions and stuff like that. Because at that point, he realized, I really don't care. Like, I don't give a... That's where he was.
But the problem... No,
I'm not justifying it, but I think
right.
that was his mindset. I'm not justifying his mindset, but I think his mindset was, I don't give a F.
I think you're a 50 million% right. Let's be clear. So the issue, not even an issue. So she's speaking about it from a space like, oh my God, like, it was a sign. It was so wonderful that you bought. She was so enthusiastic in the beginning, guys. And you could just tell
was a sign.
He deflated her bubble. Like, he deflated her balloon.
Because everything was a sign to her. But that's the type of person she is. Like, everything was... If he brought her a rose, it was, he just knew that I wanted, like, fly, you know.
I mean, whether it was a sign or not, the bubble was deflated. Because the moment that he brought up the ex and the engagement and the tattoo, who would tell... Even if I had a tattoo that matched my ex, I wouldn't even tell nobody.
Why would you talk about it?
Why would you even
especially on your wedding day? Why would you say it on your wedding day?
Because
that's the most awkward point ever.
But you don't feel like, and you tell, I know you saying like, well, he just was trying to show his disinterest.
I don't think he was trying to. I think it was involuntary. Like, I think he had mentally checked out, and that's just was diarrhea of the mouth. I don't think he was trying to do anything. I think he just didn't care, and so he let his guard down and just started talking about whatever.
But I don't want to disagree because I'm a contrarian. I only want to disagree because I think that you have to make a concerted effort on your wedding day to talk about another bitch. I just think that, like, a concerted effort, because you don't even gotta like your wife, right? The moment is also about you. So the fact that you in this moment, and you in a moment, and it's consumed by you. Now, you may be thinking about your ex because you might have thought, maybe I should have married her. I made the wrong decision.
Because he was thinking about it when he saw her at the top of the altar. He was like, oh,
I made the wrong decision.
I should have married Brittany.
And whoever she is. Right. But I do think that, I think, not that it was malice. And maybe you guys bust in and tell me if I'm using the wrong word. Maybe it wasn't malicious. But I do think there was a motive. And to go back to your point about him wanting her to know that he's not attracted to her. I think that was supposed to be wrapped all up in one, because I personally don't feel like you would ever bring, and you could genuinely be thinking about it. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's your day too. Like, you know what I mean? And on your day, you want to be talking about somebody you know with? And then also, if I'm the ex, hey girl, hey, I'm telling, first of all, if somebody got a picture of the ex, that's what we need. Okay. Because if he is bad as they say they bad, I need to see her.
She is. I bet you
she's bad. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure.
I bet you she is.
But I'm sure. Okay, but but my thing is like I need to see her because she probably sitting somewhere like because I know if it was me I'm like you see how I got these hoes.
He told her.
Do you see how I got these hoes out here talking about me?
He told her. I bet you he was like you see I was talking about you on the show, right?
He probably was. That's how he got her back.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
Horrible. I just think he is. I think that Atlanta's a scary place because the amount of eligible bachelors versus the amount of eligible women
is statistically very low.
So, and by eligible, I mean like
straight.
No, don't.
I'm sorry.
I think that has something to do with it because I do think there are women who are okay with you being on a spectrum, but I think that on like a sexual spectrum.
You're saying there's women that's okay?
There's absolutely women out there who do not mind if you may have in the past dibble or dabble.
But you think that that's a prominent amount of women?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, just like it's a spectrum to have dibbled and dabbled and decide you ain't dabbling no more, it's a spectrum of women who like, oh, you did that.
Well, very small. I think that is a very, very small amount of women.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, we also in Atlanta and the pickings is slim. So,
yes.
And we know from experience that people overlook things. So
yes.
Okay, so like we know that. So you know what I mean? Or people just like people are people, you live, you love, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that, I'm really nervous about the level of F-boy. That's really about
I don't think he's an F-boy at all. So I don't think he's an F-boy at all. I just think he's not attracted to his match.
But you can be unattracted.
Which most of these, I think that there are more people like him than not. I think he just was way more upfront about it than we've ever seen before, which was a tad bit distasteful and also a tad bit refreshing.
We both did like it. Like I said, something in me is kind of feeling this.
Yeah.
But I also like the villain, so you can't trust me. Okay, and that's just being honest. But let's talk about another couple that wasn't too happy about the match, and that was Haley and Jacob, the 38-year-old man and 28-year-old young woman. Like, they both women and men, but you understand what I'm saying. So she was not too impressed when she heard Jacob's vows, not vowels, vows, and and that's because, he likes 80s stuff. He's a nerd. Things like that.
Jacob is just 38.
He's just 38.
And it's nothing wrong. It's the thing with this situation is it's nothing wrong with Jacob. It's nothing wrong with Haley. They are just matched in different areas of their life. She want to rip and run and go see the world. And he wants to sit at home and talk about home improvement. And both of them are right where they're supposed to be in life.
But I don't really believe that she even want to be married.
I
think she want to be married for the sake of being married because all her friends are married.
I don't disagree with that, but my thing is this. My thing with this pairing, it sparked this comment of I feel like they missed an opportunity in this season. First, I thought they missed an opportunity to pair a bunch of brown people because you in Atlanta. That's the one thing that I feel like they didn't capitalize on. The other thing I think that they missed the opportunity to do was pair older couples. Right? Mm-hmm. You got the 38-year-old Jacob, the 36-year-old Eric, I think. Just pair two 40-year-olds or pair two 38-year-olds because that's interesting to see as well. They're dealing with a different set of assets and liabilities, a different set of they have a whole different set of things that they have to work through that I think would be interesting to see. I think that although this pairing of 10 years apart is going to be drama filled because it's 10 years apart. Yeah. I think that we could have seen because you're setting this up for entertainment, but you're also messing with people's real lives. And I think that just putting somebody together for drama, alone is not okay. I think that Jacob seems like the type to be a very good spouse and a very good partner to somebody that's on his level, that's in his age bracket, that want to sit at home and talk about home improvement just like him, that want to, hey, what we doing next weekend? We're gonna redo the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And they're because when you 40, it's genuinely excited. It's exciting to do.
But I don't want to put 40-year-olds out like that. It might just be him.
No. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not a bad thing to be secure and a homebody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It isn't. But I'm just saying that when you're in the space that he's in, it's more common. And it's okay.
But you don't feel like
it's okay. Like you already if you 38, you should have got the rip and run out of you by now. You're not trying to go bar hop and see every other place on every crevice of the earth. You ain't trying to do all that, which I'm cool with. Like, do your thing.
But you don't think that I also think, and this is a conversation I had with my sister, that they missed an opportunity to have a homosexual couple. I think that, like, why you're in Atlanta, there's obviously a community.
But we gotta pick our battles.
But no. I'm not saying.
You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. I'm saying as we move forward, like we're on season 12, like, you know what I mean? You're in a state where gay marriage is...
Let's slow down. I just want to slow down because I think sometimes we jump. And
you
I think we
overlook representation. Because one thing is like, let's focus on black people representation before we focus on...
Yes. Let's one thing at a time.
But what if there was a black homosexual couple?
I just want us to slow down.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is, I think that, to your point, honey, that they did miss a lot of opportunity for diversity across the couples, whether it's age, sexual orientation, race. I do think that they missed a little bit of an opportunity to show up there because
this race thing been an issue for a long time. Right. You know what I mean? Let's go one thing at a time. You know what I mean?
Well, don't be canceling our channel before it gets started.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that I think sometimes we overlook certain plights. You know what I'm saying? And we jump, and then now it's like, oh, okay, we looking over. The brown people is looking like, where we at?
Yeah.
And I think we see it a lot in television and film today.
Right. And I guess what I'm saying is that I think I've come from a space of where you're black first. So I feel like...
And that's what I'm saying.
Or you're a brown person first. Or you're whatever you are first. You're a woman and then you're...
Y'all in Atlanta and y'all got 2 black couples?
Yeah. And they're not even fully black.
And you got... like one in a possible?
They got... Yeah, we did the...
Like...
Yeah.
Let's start... Like... Before we get to anything else, let's fix that issue.
Okay, I ain't gonna fight you. I'm just saying, like, moving forward, I think Married at First Sight could. But maybe it's a conservative channel or something like that. Tell me, guys, what you think about what we're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Because this is controversial, what we just threw out there. But I'm saying, like, he too through with me.
Yeah, because how do we go?
Don't do that. Don't. All I'm saying is that I just want, to your point, a little bit more inclusion and diversity. So I'm with you on that, okay? But I do think, let's get back to Haley and Jacob. Jacob has nothing else to say but talk about his mansion or whatever like that.
But she ain't got nothing else to say either but talk about her traveling. So they're showing the juxtaposition.
Though.
They are, but in different
ways.
Yeah, but in different ways, and they're still worlds apart.
True.
Right? Because when you still in the space of, I want to rip and run, you're worlds apart away from somebody who is like, I'm settling, I know who I am, and I'm just
And Jacob wanted somebody that looked like Jennifer Aniston, and I thought he was close. I thought the girl is cute.
No. Don't disrespect Jennifer Aniston like that. That's not okay.
First of all, I think that the girl is a super cute girl.
I'm not saying she's not cute, but don't call her Jennifer Aniston.
Well, Jennifer Aniston is kind of cute.
And she's 50 and she's still cuter than this girl. And this girl is 28.
We don't want to, you know what? The point I'm trying to make is that Haley and Jacob, I'm fascinated by them. I'm even fascinated by...
It's a train wreck. I don't think it's fascinating. I think it's inevitably gonna crash and burn. Like, but I'm also worried about, like, to your point, crashing and burning. People crashing and burning real lives. And, like, you know what I mean? Like I just think, like, Eric and Virginia, Virginia's obvious. Eric got robbed. This is not okay.
No, we really need to start a petition.
This is not fair. Because, That's what I mean.
So 2 things could happen here. He could this might have been what the experts was thinking. Maybe he'll ground her.
No.
Maybe he'll slow her down.
That's not what they thought.
And maybe she'll speed him up. But they yeah, they thought this is gonna hit the fan. But this makes me sad only because he's a divorcee and you want him to find love again.
He's a nice guy.
That's what I mean. But I don't. But when you get divorced, you feel a sense of failure, and I don't. And I feel like I don't want him to have that feeling again. That's a real thing you go through, and I don't want him to be like feeling.
He's gonna feel that again. but it's only a matter of like how messy will it be, because she seems very messy.
Very.
And I think for Eric, it's just not fair because he's also in a different place in life.
Yeah.
And he probably would be a great partner for somebody who is on his level, kind of in his place. And she seems like she is still trying to figure out whether she wants Frosted Flakes or Cheerios for breakfast. And that's the big decision of her life. Yes, and I think that's not fair to pair her with somebody who is established, knows what he wants, is ready to be married. It seems like he's ready to build a family. I think Eric is getting a raw deal.
He is, and Eric, if you watch,
he is the nice guy.
I know a few that I could hook you up with.
He is he seems like a nice guy who got put with the wildest one in the bunch.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I feel like I don't even know how the young girl got picked. And
I don't either. I don't, because she's not ready to be a girlfriend.
She's not ready to be a woman.
She's not ready to be...
I'm not even sure she wipe herself properly. Yeah. Like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, she there for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm worried. Like, I'm absolutely worried. So, but talking about a couple I'm not too worried about.
Who are you not worried about?
Brianna and Vincent.
I'm worried about every last one of these couples. If I had to not be worried about somebody, it would be Ryan and Claire. But, because I think whatever weird stuff is going on there, he's into it. But
I think he ain't going to be that into it.
I'm worried about Brianna and Vincent. I'm worried about them just like as much as I'm worried about everybody else.
I'm not worried about Brianna and Vincent. This is our first impressions, obviously, because this is their first impressions, right? So I'm not worried about Brianna and Vincent because just first impressions, they look warm.
Okay, together. So we pay just like Brianna. We placing too much
on the physical
weight on the physical. Who cares what they look about? Who cares what
it's not about? A little physical.
It's not about. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not about what they look like. Brianna is giving off red flags off the jump.
You think?
Because she's throwing him every compliment in the book. He's so supportive. He's so loving. He's my rock. Yeah. He's my Gibraltar.
You do gotta manage, not Gibraltar.
You just met this guy. Yeah, you don't know him at all. You were around him. Yeah. So this is clearly off of the physical because you're physically attracted to him. Now he's your rock in a hard place. Now he's your comforter. Now he's everything. But you just met him 15 minutes ago. Yeah. You don't know him. That's a red flag. Somebody who is just so willing to jump into the deep end so quickly, that should be alarming. That should be very alarming because they also are the people who crash and burn the hardest.
Talking about crashing and burning, let's go back to Paige and Chris, okay? Because they gave us a lot this episode. Like, would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
A lot. They carried it. Low key, high key, they carried it. So, first of all, it's so many little nuggets. So when they were taking pictures and they're like, oh, look at each other. And he just was like, all the pictures he liked.
He's not into it.
It was just so sad.
It was sad, but he's not into it.
It was so sad because I wonder if she felt that.
She did. That's why she said, she didn't think that anything was off until they had these close encounters. And then he's like, kind of, not really into it. That's when she thought something was off. And so I think that's all it was. It was just a matter of like her noticing that he's not into it.
Yeah, but let me tell you what really blew me, y'all. Like, blew my mind. It was 2 big things, okay? And I was going to save these for last, but we about to listen. The first thing, I could bring this up prematurely, is the friends. Him talking to the friends.
He didn't give no...
I mean, none. Like, he was just like... he was letting it all hang out.
He didn't care, but that's what I said. He got to a level of I don't care, and he just let it hang out.
He all in there like, yeah, he at his wedding talking to her girlfriends about his ex as if they asked him. But the funniest thing is, like, you would have thought they asked him, hey, we heard about your ex. You got an ex. You would have thought.
He was over it.
But it was just so, even to say, like, oh my God, the best part, this really just was when they was like, he was talking about like the girls he was used to. And he is used to ritzy girls. And
he's used to pretty girls. That's where he was.
That was the meat
and potatoes. That was the quote.
He said that.
I'm used to pretty girls.
He said, I'm used to ritzy girls. I'm used to pretty girls.
But that's when I heard it, I was like, I knew he would not like this girl. But I also felt like they knew he would not like this girl.
They knew.
That's why I felt like I felt so. I didn't feel any remorse because I felt like this is what you guys wanted. Like you could look at him and tell he wouldn't be, when you a put together guy, you want to be with a put together girl. And I'm talking strictly physical because again, he doesn't know her, how great of a person she is and how she's qualified and intelligent.
An accountant, a real estate
he doesn't know any of that. So we're talking strictly off the physical, and we're not going to act like here at least that people don't make judgments from first sight. And so you had to know, looking at him and looking at it put together, you had to know he wanted a woman
to know
who was put together, and I the personal part of me got it because I'm like, I like girly girls. I like the pretty girls. And I felt like she's not it.
What did you feel?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to have the 18 inches and all of that. I need you to have all of that. And I get it. But my thing is, he acted a little bit differently than I would have acted because he was a little more curt with his responses.
Was too curt for me.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, I'm saying if I didn't look through their paperwork and I could look at them and tell he's not gonna vibe with her, they had to know. So this is on y'all. Like you messing with this girl's life and this girl's psyche because
her relationship with God.
In her relationship with God, she blamed it all on God. You messing with this girl's psyche and all of this stuff for ratings because you knew that he was not going to be into her. You knew. Yeah. You probably saw a picture. Y'all did research.
But he said it like he was like on paper.
On paper, we look.
He said, but when the John said he said, I'm used to having like a trophy wife. And the John said like, well, she is a trophy wife.
He said, no, she's not. And I ran through my house.
He did.
I did.
That was an actual thing. He ran through the house.
Because I was not ready.
I was not. I don't even. The problem I'm having is that he's real.
He real, and I can't be mad. I can't bring myself to be mad at him.
And that's the struggle I'm having because part of me is like I appreciate his honesty.
Because part of me feels like the joke's on you, Lifetime. Like
except for
you tried to play him, and he was like, "All right,
right."
Let's go. Let's do this. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
I just feel like I feel bad for Paige because I would be so livid if I was in a situation like that because you are essentially like judging people off your first impression.
Yeah.
And then you watch it back and somebody is like all of my insecurities will come to she just got to be feeling so like crazy right now, like, you know what I mean? So I feel that's what made me feel bad because I didn't think, because then I asked Joe, and y'all know, we brown people, we brown like this, not like this. So I asked, like, do you think it's like a colorism thing or whatever the thing? And he just was like, he said no.
No, it's not.
But I would never know. I don't know why I even threw that out there. I just was, throwing something.
His ex is probably black as my shirt, but she probably is clean. Her wig ain't messed up. Her eyelashes ain't too big, weighing down on her eyes. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she probably is, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. But what I'm saying, if you know somebody like Chris, know they want to be with somebody. His stuff is, I'm sure that he don't have no seams hanging off on his jacket.
We've seen him get his hair cut
twice already. We only 3 episodes in. So why wouldn't you want a woman who keep her stuff tight? You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I just we had this conversation about, do you think that, like, cause when a man gets with a woman, you can kind of zhuzh him a bit, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I know what'll work for him. We're gonna get him a smaller size. We're gonna make him grow out his beard, whatever the case may be. But do you think that men can do that for a woman, like upgrade her?
Yeah, I don't think men can upgrade women. I don't think they can. I think when you meet her, she is what she is. I think women can absolutely upgrade men, but I don't think he can. And I think he realizes that too. I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it.
You don't understand.
But I just don't think that it's possible. And I've never seen it done.
So, okay, let's talk about another super awkward moment. You guys, it was so many in this episode. How about the father? Oh, God.
That was so awkward.
Too big. First of all, he gave us 2 wops. Like, the first one was when he was doing the vow.
He was making a speech, which was...
And then he was talking about a honeymoon. He ready for some grandchildren.
That was awkward.
You do not
you don't even know her. You do not know her.
This is not funny.
Yeah, you don't know her.
Like, what?
Like, that's the thing where it's like, okay, bro, just err on the side of caution. Like,
but 2 things. You don't know her. You don't even know if your son likes her.
Yeah, you don't.
At this point, you don't even know what he thinks.
Because you didn't even talk to him yet.
You couldn't have. Because you would have changed that whole little speech up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That bothered me. Like, bothered me. We got to stop thinking we have ownership over women's ovaries and we don't know them. Like that, we got to stop. Like, you know what I mean? But the second thing, and this threw me.
The conversation at the table was wild. And I didn't know what to do. It was just too... And the mom, his wife was like, what is happening?
So wait a minute, set it up.
Well, they at the table and he basically is it's the same conversation that every parent that they film, every parent and Married at First Sight person having. And it's just like them giving advice or something. But his advice was basically like, I need you to bust it wide open for my son on a regular. And that's it, and that's all. And I was like, not ready for it. It was the weirdest conversation ever.
Do you know how thoroughly inappropriate it is?
It was so inappropriate.
It was, I don't know where they got it.
It almost felt, it made me laugh because it felt like he knew it wasn't. His face gave me like he knew it was inappropriate.
His face gave me predator.
Well, that part. And then he just knew it was inappropriate.
I was so appalled.
It was weird.
It made me feel so icky.
Because he was looking her dead in the face like, he wants that intimacy. You know what I mean? Intimacy.
But it was the intimacy and the not like nagging him.
Don't nag him. But when he come home,
because he worked hard.
So when he come home, he wanna be. I don't know. It was a lot. But he was like smiling while he was saying it, and
it was. You know what it is for me, babe. What it is for me is that women work too, okay? And we gotta stop with this narrative that men work so hard. Y'all got so many qualms out in the world. Women gotta deal with stuff too, okay? And she's a woman in a professional environment. She's a black woman. She's a dark-skinned woman. Like, she probably got so many things she gotta deal with. You don't think she would like to come home to a mother jumper who ain't nagging her? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the idea that somebody got to cater to your raggedy ass son. I am just like, I am tired. Like, we got to stop this narrative where we think that's okay. I wish a mother jumper would take care of...
I don't think...
Take the trash out with them. Y'all are not okay. This is not okay. It is not okay to speak to women like that. Like, as if, what is this? What year are we in?
I don't know. I really don't.
What's that?
It was awkward. I'd have had to leave. If I was there, I would have had to left the table.
It was inappropriate. And what made it freakier is that I know this is how he speaks to people because you were in front of a camera.
It felt but it felt like he was putting on to me. It did. Yes, that's why he was smirking like he was. Like, if this is just what you do, you would have been stone cold like, yeah, this is what I want. No, it seemed very much like he was putting on for the cameras.
So do y'all think that the boy... You kicking the thing. Do y'all think that the boy, Chris, told his dad to do all this mess?
No, I don't think Chris told him. I think his dad
wanted to be the star?
Yes. You saw him in the while he was making the speech. He was making the speech was the most elaborate, nothing.
I don't care what nobody say. He got a record. He probably on Megan's list or whatever the hell they call that.
What is that?
The one for the predators.
I don't know.
No, he's a predator. You don't sit up.
Megan McCain?
No, baby. Megan was like, if y'all don't know, I think it's Megan's law where if you're a sexual predator, you have to register in your neighborhood. So then somebody could just Google it and you can see all the sexual predators in your neighborhood.
I know about that.
But still, and tell me if I'm called
Megan's list.
It might not be. It's not Megan's list.
Megan's
Megan's law. It was a young girl who was accosted at the time they created a law. I think it's Megan. But still, guys, and correct me if I'm wrong. But the point is that he a goddamn predator. Just like his raggedy son.
No, don't
and his
call him.
apple
Chris
tree.
Is not a predator.
He's a predator.
Chris is
and
I'm gonna tell
you why he a predator.
Chris is
because
like,
the moment she took her clothes off and put on her pajamas.
He was drunk. Chris was a drunk.
A predator.
You know what?
He was a drunk predator.
No, he was a drunk N-word. Okay.
I do that.
At the end of the night, and the club lights was low, and anything was game.
I didn't like that, and I feel like
he was drunk. That's it. He was drunk and hungry. That's all he was.
I do think that we need to give Paige and Chris Daddy, let's be clear, a bonus check, because this entire episode I feel like was about them.
It was about.
I know everybody else was doing some little thing.
They really ain't.
But I really don't care about nothing they had going on with, because Paige and Chris came through.
And neither did Lifetime, because they barely had.
This was the Paige and Chris show.
It was.
And everybody else was just like around it or whatever.
But Paige and Chris is gonna have the most drama because they are the most, I think, unlikely couple. I feel like
Haley and Jacob is going to be up there as well.
I think they are too. I agree.
Just because I think they are so different.
They are.
You know what I mean? For so many reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of.
But I think Eric and Virginia is right up there with him. Eric was laughing and kicking, but that shit is only gonna be funny until it's not. Like he think all of that is cute and how amorous she is and how quirky she is and all that other stuff. That stuff is cute. Until he's like, okay, it's time to be an adult. It's Wednesday at 3:00 in the afternoon. And you're just laying here on the couch taking shots of tequila. Like, what's up? Like, I feel like
he gonna get tired.
Eric, 100%. Like, I think out of all the couples, Eric and Virginia will be the most combustible, I think.
I hope they prove us wrong, because I like that Eric. I do.
It's not about Eric. It's about Virginia.
I know.
That's what because I don't dislike Eric.
I know.
I think Eric is getting a raw deal.
I know. Yeah. I know. I mean, of them all, I feel like he's the most realistic character on here.
Which is why I think it's going to be worse to watch, because I think that he's going to get crushed the most out of everybody.
I agree. So let's end on this, because we've been just chit-chatting or whatever the case may be, because this episode gave, honey. Let's hedge our bets for who busted down on the honeymoon.
It was definitely Paige and Chris.
You think Paige and Chris busted down?
And definitely Clara and Ryan, sure.
I think
my money is on Clara and Ryan, but I think Paige and Chris is a close second. Because Paige is in the Chris, and Chris was drunk.
Okay, I'm going to go Virginia and Eric. Somebody did a little bit of heavy petting or something. Yeah, because she heavy pet everybody. She what they call a spinner, twirler, or something. Well, that's that. It was dirty. Oh my God! We're gonna end it on this. Oh my God! We're gonna end it on this.
Oh my God!
I say to Joe, and this is the last thing we're gonna talk about. I say to Joe, Brandy looks like Heather Headley. Joe says, who? The porn star?
I don't. That's the only Heather I know.
I felt like it was so funny, because I felt like, wow, like I'm about to go Google her, because I need to know what kind of porn he watching. But I'm like,
no, this is no. Heather is not relevant today, so this would not qualify for anything that anybody's watching today.
But I didn't
Heather probably is retired with multiple kids.
Like old porn.
No. I'm saying Heather's day has passed.
Oh, okay. What the point is,
Heather is probably not active anymore, but I'm assuming that's who you were. I thought that's who you were talking about. Heather is old school. I haven't seen Heather on film.
You know what? You don't got. It's okay, man. Don't defend
I'm just saying, Heather is old school.
Defend it to me.
I'm telling you.
Whatever you want to be.
No. I'm telling you that Heather Headley reference.
She was on his mind, okay?
No, she wasn't.
Was on
I
his
just
mind.
heard the name. I'm
so
like,
hey,
okay.
girl, hey. You
First of all, we live. First of all, we live in LA, so some adult film actresses, what you should call them. You just know from living in LA, right?
Oh, so you know Heather Headley.
No.
All right now.
I'm just saying that.
Go ahead, say
it. When you said the name Heather Headley, it just sparked the name. Like the one John, it's just, what's the one John? Superhead?
You know what? We're going down the rabbit hole.
Okay. But I'm saying the one John Superhead, she used to make her name at like parties and like,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like LA parties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm saying Heather, like, I actually haven't even seen that many.
It's okay, baby. Babe, you do not have to defend yourself.
I'm not defending myself.
Yo, do y'all see how he is spinning himself in a circle?
I'm not.
He's like, oh my God, I don't even know her. Like, sometimes I see her, sometimes I don't.
I'm saying I have not really seen Heather Headley videos. I just know her name because she's supposed to be an OG. If y'all know, I don't even know if I'm getting her last name right. It might not be
First of all,
Headley.
let's be clear. Heather Headley
sounds like a porn star
name.
It's
a fantastic porn star name, but that is not who I was talking about. I was talking about the Queen Heather Headley. The singer.
No clue. And I'm in music.
He's annoying. First of all, you know what? We're not doing this. If you have not already, bust down, subscribe to our channel, Joe and Zar. Also subscribe to Zar Galore and at Backstage Sports. Joe is one half of that podcast. So I want to make sure that you guys are following us everywhere. And I'm so glad that you guys came and hung out with us. That sounded inappropriate. We got a little too
inappropriate.
Came and hung out.
No, that's dirty minds. I know. That sounded perfectly fine to me, but that's because I live right.
Oh, okay, whatever. Heather Headley. But if you guys
Heather Headley,
you know what?
Live in LA.
No, we done. Thank you guys so much.
You see a lot of people at the gas station. Okay, like, what are you talking about?
Listen, if you have not already,
one of the porn stars kids. I thought
no. Don't tell people. What? We will see you guys later.
I literally teach one of these ladies.